Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. So this past month of October, I learned two big life lessons. I've learned that I went way too far above and beyond for those around me in times past, and a lot of people, especially here in the United States, don't do that. What do I mean by that? Well, right now, I'm having a situation that's kind of impairing my ability to drive, and I would so much love it if one of my colleagues could help me out. And I only live like two and a half miles away, but even that has been a hard challenge to take care of. I ended up having to thaw my keys out. I put my keys in the freezer, but I had to thaw them out because it was getting ridiculous how I was fighting my way to work. But I only live 2.5 miles away. I've just learned that I have to put everything aside for that moment in time. But it was the fact that I couldn't find somebody to drive me here was more upsetting than the fact that I had to drive here, because in times past, this is the kind of stuff that I would help my colleagues with, right? Imagine I had a colleague who was weak from chemotherapy but still could work, right? And needed a drive. I don't think I ever saw a colleague like that. They took time off for chemotherapy, but never asked for a ride, right? In times past, I was all too eager to do that. And now that I see it from the other side around, next time somebody asks me for that kind of favor, I'm going to have to think hard about it. And certainly don't go out of my way to, if I happen to drive past their home, sure, but maybe not go so much out of their way out of for it, right? In times past, I was very eager to do stuff like that. The other major lesson I learned was that I decided to ask a couple of my colleagues about my situation, about trying to meet the right life partner. It's difficult because two things. Number one, I am solo sexual still. I don't feel sexual romance toward other people. And number two, I'm not into the loud bar scenes, right? Those are the two barriers that I run into. And I bravely told two colleagues that I trust very much. And the reception was not bad, actually. Obviously, these things don't happen overnight, but I told them, it would be ideal if we figured this out before the Christmas season, because I would love to travel to Poland. And my colleague was misunderstood. My colleague thought I needed somebody to travel with me to Poland. No, I want to be able to go there in peace, knowing that my situation here in Phoenix is taken care of. See, that's the big problem with my connectivity with a lot of other people. I beat at such a different wavelength. There's a lot of misunderstandings. There's a lot of wrong connections, and just trying to explain the whole travel situation was funny enough, right? But it gets more tragic when people misunderstand the entire situation, right? So, for example, I would so much love it. There's a speed dating event this Friday night, but I would so much love it if speed dating happened, I don't know, in a library, or uh, at uh, I'm trying to think where else it would be an idea, on a hiking trail, right? Or during a lunar eclipse, right? You get the idea, right? Not at a bar. Or the problem with a bar is that it's so noisy that when I try to be very soft spoken, but when I have to speak over a bar noise, it distorts the chemistry of what I want to say, right? It really does. And I learned that it was not so hard to talk. Now, yesterday I had a series of upsets. First, I was after I had left Seattle, I lost touch with one of my friends there, and I finally found her on Instagram, and it looks like she doesn't want to talk to me. We had a really good final couple of days in Seattle. I don't know what happened, right? And then, um, and then I went to see one of my videos where I clearly asked for dislikes in support, but a bunch of idiots decided to leave likes, and I went into a serious downward spiral. I couldn't get my work done. I was yesterday at my class. I kept saying the wrong stuff, and very embarrassing. I almost thought about calling off work, saying that I had some Just health issues, right? Can't focus because of them. But you know what? I think that's going to make my downward spiral even worse. In an ideal world, I wish I could work without the commute, right? I almost thought about looking for somewhere safe on campus where I could squat. Then I could work without the commute, right? That would probably cheer me up a lot, right? All right, continue to pray for me by leaving a dislike on this video. This is the Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum.